Hey, yesterday my load from Home Depot came in. It's looking pretty good. I got enough now to do just about everything up to the sheathing on the roof. But I've got enough for the walls, the roof, all that stuff. And here's my new 2 by 6 by 8s to replace the studs I got, and these actually turned out a lot better. They're more consistent in width, and they're just looking like a lot better quality. The 8-foot ones too, I can always, if one of the ends is a little crooked or bad, it gives me a little room to cut off the ends for the studs. I got, 8 inches left. And here I'm working on my headers. I just want to get my headers for all my windows and doors all done, just make things easier later. You can see here, this header is going to be made out of 2 by 8s. Most of them are 2 by 8s, and then I've got some 1/2 inch stuff sandwiched in here. Otherwise, it won't match the width of the walls. So pretend this is like, you're looking at it, and this is a wall. You want it to be flush on both sides. Otherwise, if you just put these 3 together, you're going to have like an inch space somewhere inside, and then you're going to have to shim it all to put drywall on. So this just saves trouble later. It's going to be even on both sides. So this looks like it'll work pretty good. Here's my bigger windows are out of 2 by 8s, and then my 6-foot windows out of 2 by 10s. Oh, and I've got these clamps here. I'm just going to clamp these things together and then nail it with 3-inch nails. So I'll put 3-inch nails here, and then I'll flip it over and do nails on the other side. And I've got a bunch of walls, three of the walls already marked out here. It's pretty easy on the front and the back. They're all at 16 inches, so you just go along and mark your 16 inches. The ends have an extra one here just for drywall inside, so you'll have somewhere to nail to on the ends. And then for here's a window. I'm doing this window for this side of the house, and so I'm just going to go ahead and get these things even on the end here and nail these 3 pieces together, same as like the headers, just with 3-inch nails. Nail these 2 together, and then nail these 2 together, and then this will just be one solid piece, and this will be one solid piece. It'll just make it easier for nailing up the walls later. And just to make sure, I always measure this one, the bottom one, and then the top one separately, and then I line them up to make sure they're right. This one, I started measuring it out, and then I got messed up on lines. And so, by measuring the top, I go, oh, I messed up here, and it's just a double check. So now I put my other piece in there in the bottom, my next piece of the wall, and it's actually like a 1/4 inch short. You can see a little gap there at the bottom. So I'm trying to think now if I want to deal with cutting a new piece and drawing new lines, or just calling it good. I'll probably just call it good. Hey, so I did some measurements. I don't think it's really off. I measured, I put little blocks on the end to be like, the width of the walls on the end. So a little spacer there, but I measured the spacer, and of course it was 1/8 of an inch short. of the 5.5 inches. So there's where a big part of my gap came in. That's why I get pissed when these pieces aren't the right size. It kind of messes with all your measurements. So back at it. All right, so one wall done. 3 to go. That was an easy one, I guess, or at least a short one. I'll get back on the rest of the walls. I don't think I'll film them all, but that's pretty much how it goes for the walls. I got my 3 sections of the wall up now. I checked with the level. All of them seem pretty level, square. So I think it's all good. Now I'm just gonna go along. I made sure my edges here line up. They all line up pretty good. My edge to the other side. Everything's looking pretty good. I just used clamps to hold these together. And now I'm going to go along. I'm going to nail these since I'm happy with how everything is. I'm going to nail these and then probably nail along the floor. And then I'm going to put my my top plate on too, and that should hold all these edges together. Hey, I'm almost out of battery power, but I'm getting ready for the rain. It's supposed to actually rain like a 1/4 inch today, so I got a plastic backup on here. I don't know, 1/4 inch rain is a lot, so I don't even think that would keep it out, but I'm trying to keep it from getting on the OSB, because the OSB gets kind of ruined pretty easy. Well, not ruined, but I mean, it kind of swells on the edges and raises the grain and stuff, so it's best not to get this OSB stuff wet, but I mean, if you can help it, I guess. And I also don't want it getting it down into my insulation that I got in there. So we'll see how it goes today, if it rains a lot or not. So it was just supposed to be like a 1/10 of an inch of rain, and now I looked on the weather app, it's like 0.64 inches or something today. But I just squeegeed off the thing like 45 minutes an hour ago, and there's totally a ton of water on it already. So I take a board and kind of squeegee all the water off, because I mean, it's a lot already. It's crazy. It is just after about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna squeegee it off again. Wow, what a storm yesterday. It was crazy. A lot of water. I think it ended up being like 0.7 inches or something, so it was a lot. I wanted to show you this OSB. Like, here's a piece I left out. I mean, it's all left this out in the rain. It's all warped. I mean, you can just see like the difference in size between these two. I mean, they're the same board, but it just swells a ton when it gets wet out in the rain. That tarp did all right. It's still got a lot of water on the edges. I think it flowed down the edges and just got underneath, but if I didn't take off that tarp, it would have got worse. I mean, whenever I don't know, you can't really probably see, but whenever it gets wet, these nails kind of, the board swells and these nails kind of go down into the stuff. Probably leads to squeaky floors eventually, I imagine. But so a lot of my nails were, you know, right even, but now they're kind of sunken down, and if one edge gets wet, you know, and the other one doesn't, it's going to swell, and then you're going to have to sand it. So it's kind of a pain if it gets wet. I really don't know what people do, like, you know, if it rains. Here it's Oregon, and this is the dry side of Oregon, so it's kind of deserty. It doesn't rain a lot in the summer, at least. But I mean, if you're out west or out east, I mean, and it rained all the time, I mean, I don't really know how you'd protect your floor. If I wasn't here to kind of babysit that, it would have got really bad. So I'm calling it a week here. I've been up here like 8 days. It took me about 5 to frame the walls. I still have a little bit to do here. You know, the storm took a day out of my work time. I probably would have been done yesterday, but I still got some stuff to do. Like there still needs to be another stud here, like on that door. There needs to be another stud right here, and then but I didn't put it on because I needed to nail the header in, and so I nailed the header in, and now I'll put this other stud here, nail them all together. I still need to do the inner walls here, and they're going to tie to that top plate, so I can't keep putting the top plate on until I know exactly where my wall's going to come up. And I didn't put a stud right where the wall is, so I think I'm going to throw another stud in there so I'll have something to nail the inner wall to. So I've got these braces here to hold up the wall, and so right now I just screwed this one in, and I take my level and then put it against the wall here. Let's see. Yep, it needs to come in. Can't do it with both hands, but I'm going to pull in the wall until this is level, and then I'm going to screw it down into the floor. So this will just kind of hold it in place level. Hey, I'm super jazzed. I'm finishing up my framing finally. Just one last piece to go, this top plate. I usually use these vice grips when I put the top plate on, these vice thingies, and it squeezes them together, so if you got crooked kind of walls, it pulls them together before nailing them in. I still have to put this header, I still got to nail in the header, and then put another stud right here on the outside. And I didn't lift this up by myself, it was too heavy. I built two of them together and lifted that up, and then I put the rest of it up there and then squeezed it together with the vice clamps, and then nailed it while it was up there. Back at it today. It's busy this weekend, holiday weekend, but I got my floors or my walls all nailed down to my floor now. I did that this morning. I also got my straps cut. I needed these, I guess it was a CS 16 strap. I needed 4 of those on the edges, so I got my straps. I guess those are gonna save the place if there's an earthquake or something. And now I'm working on this blocking. Whoa, that one's not in there yet, but I've been working on this blocking too, because I need this blocking anywhere there's sheathing. There's an edge, so I got it marked at 4 foot right here, and so my sheet's gonna go up there. There's just this side right here. I got a 4 foot section done, and then the nailing 6 inches on the edges, and then 12 inches in the middle. A lot of nails. So I thought this blocking would be a pain. I got to put that wherever there's a sheathing edge, and anyways, I've found it's not so bad. I just shoot nails in from the edge here on this side, because I can get in with my nail gun, and then I go on the back side and I shoot nails in from this side in at an angle. So it's you know, you just got to watch your angle so they don't shoot through, but I've had a lot of luck with that. So anyways, these on the end and then these at an angle from the back seems to work out. Today I'm working on the siding, on the putting this OSB sheathing up. I ended up for the bottom here, I ended up putting this this piece right here, and another one is like a shim, just to make this you know, be even with the bottom, since I guess I gotta put the sheathing all the way to the bottom there. So, and then I got this thing just screwed in the bottom as like a little ledge, so it'll just hold it up for me. I don't want to hold too much. And then same with these, I put clips in here. It says you're supposed to actually have like a 16-inch, 16th of an inch gap right there, but I don't know how I'm going to keep 16-inch of a gap and keep this edge in there while I'm moving it around to get it straight. I mean, if you got 2 people, maybe you can do that. But so I put these clips in there So then I can just shove a sheet in there. The clips will hold the bottom in, and then I can just kind of move it around and look at it, and it's not going to fall down. If you don't put these clips in, you need something to hold it, otherwise this bottom pops out and the whole sheet falls, which is bad. Hey, just something I found helpful, like what for me anyways. I'd take, since I've got these supported anyways on the bottom, I would put one of these sheets up and then just kind of wiggle it in place and put one screw in the top, and then I'd put another sheet next to it, do the same, and then put another sheet. So I had 3 of these in a row on the bottom, of course, not on the top, but and then I could adjust kind of the gap on each one. Anyways, made it a little easier because, you know, just one screw is going to hold this in place, and then you can move on to the other ones, get 3 all set, because usually on the ends, I found the ends aren't really perfect for length, and you got to kind of adjust them. So anyways, maybe that'll help you out. So what I was looking at for so long, I can show you what I was doing here, but I got these 2 pieces up on the top, and I was looking at them to see if I could get them better, you know, straight on the edges and stuff. So when I put up the last piece here, it's kind of in from the edge about 1/4 of an inch here, and so, but on this piece it was barely, you know, barely hitting the edge of the 2x4, and so this one's gapped all right, kind of, you know, at the top's a little bit too much, and then this piece looked good down here, but at the top's got about 1/4 of an inch gap. So like this piece couldn't go this way anymore, and you know, this piece couldn't go this way anymore. So at least putting them up there before I nailed them, I could, you know, at least get the gap as well as I could. Oh, and last night, of course, there was this big thunderstorm. It wasn't really supposed to come until this afternoon. I mean, it looks nice now, but it's supposed to thunderstorm again later, so I'm kind of bummed I didn't have the tarps on the floor, because I figured I'd have time. And so anyways, this kind of, you can see underneath, I don't know if you can see very well, but I mean, there's a lot of just wet spots where water was pouring through. And then on the floor, the floor got really wet this time. And this is what I was worried about. See right here, it's all started buckling. I should have put a bigger gap in the floor here. I mean, I think I put this one about 1/16 of an inch or something, but it's all like buckling up now, and I don't know. So that's why I've been trying to keep the OSB kind of dry, but I guess I'm almost giving up now. And that's all I can do for this week. I can't really do this top part, put the sheets up here, because they're gonna go all the way up to the gable, the you know, pointed top triangle piece. So I'm gonna need to wait till I build the gable part of the roof, so I got something to nail to. Otherwise the sheets are just gonna get wet and they'll get all twisted and stuff. Just to let you know too, you're going to need lots and lots of nails. So this is my box of 4,000 3-inch nails, and I'm just about blown through all that. And this is my second box of 2.5-inch nails. There's 2,000 of those in each box, so almost 4,000 2.5-inch nails and almost 4,000 3-inch nails. And I got a lot more nailing to go. So I don't think you're really going to nail this by hand ever. It would be like crazy. My arms are tired enough just nailing in the ends. And by the way, I don't nail them all the way in. I nail them kind of close and then hammer them in just to, so I don't sink them in too much. Yeah, especially with this rain and stuff. If you sink them in too much and it swells, and they're going to be like way sunken deep. So yeah, that's what I'm trying. Hey, I'm up here building on the roof now. I'm starting all my rafters and stuff. Of course, it's starting to rain now. I just work anyways, and I kind of, it's a super wet September. It's now September, and it's just been raining like crazy in Oregon. I don't know why. But okay, so I'm attaching my my rafters up here to the top plate using these pretty cool screws. So I'm using these Timberlock 6-inch screws, and I even went online. The company will send you this little gadget for putting them in for free even. But I found, like, you know, you hold it up there and it's like a guide for it, but it puts them in right at the edge here. Which is alright if the, you know, your rafter's right above a stud, but otherwise I don't know, they kind of stick out a little bit, and I think when you drywall it'd be kind of a pain. So I did these by hand, and you can do them in a little bit, and that seems to work out a little better. So it's cool to send you this for free, but I'll just use this on, you know, areas where there's a lot of studs. And these are just temporary up here, just to hold my ridge beam in place there while I nail these on. So this is all just, you know, temporary for now. I've also, I just wanted to show you this before I put the other, there's another rafter that goes right here. But first you have to nail in these little pieces so that my roof's going to be extended. And so since the roof's going to be extended, you need a place to nail to. So actually I put the one rafter in there, nail those together, and then I put the other rafter on because it's going to cover it up and you won't be able to nail through both of them. I nailed these outside pieces on already before I put this one on. Otherwise you'd have to toenail them in later. It wouldn't work out too well. And on these ones right here, I couldn't use those cool screws because there's no, you know, I don't have enough way to screw them in between these studs. So I use these other Simpson ties. They seem to, you know, be about the same. They're a lot more nails, so it takes got like 10 nails for each one. So that's 20 nails for each side, you know, compared to 2 screws. So it's way easier with the screws. I'm starting work today. It's about 8 in the morning. I stopped yesterday. I was slowing down. I finally got my stairs made there. I got tired of crawling up and down. So this will make it a lot better. But it's funny, I came out today and it's pretty cold out. That's why I got my Elmer Fudd hat on. You can see it's just like icy everywhere. This is all just a big sheet of ice. So I'm gonna drink some coffee for a while and relax. So I'm putting up my these are my ceiling joists, and they're also collar ties because they're tying in the rafters together. And this place is so small. I mean, those kind of are both in this place. Other place, you know, if you had a real high ceiling, your collar ties might be a lot higher up. But I'm putting in these screws here. These are the kind right here. They're Simpson strong tie. You know, I asked the engineer why they were 3.5-inch screws, because they stick out the side there. And so he said, well, the tips of the screws aren't structurally the same, so if I got screws that were flush, 3-inch ones, it would actually be, I would need to use 8 of those rather than 6 of these screws per side. And if I use nails, I would have needed 15 nails per side, which is, that's crazy. It would just be solid nails. So anyways, that's why I went with these things. They seem to work pretty good. The one I just did for the camera is split on the end there, but most of them haven't split. I'm kind of surprised. I was thinking I might have to pre-drill them and stuff. It's also kind of nice because these are 12-foot pieces, but even though they're a little bit longer than 12 foot, it didn't matter because they can stick out a little bit, and so I didn't have to actually cut any of these ceiling ones, so that's pretty nice. Oh, and I did try to I tried to use those big screws I used on the floor beams to kind of screw these together, but it split the wood really bad, and then I had to take them all out, and then I had holes in there, so I figured, hell, I'll just nail them up like everything else. Hey, I'm pretty jazzed. I got my rafters done the other day, all except for the end ones there, but anyways, they're looking pretty good, as long as you don't look too close, I guess. Yesterday, just another big storm, a lot of rain. Look at all this stuff. My goodness, it's like a lake in here. I don't know. I'm kind of giving up on this rain stuff, but I guess I'll sweep it out and I don't know, maybe work today. I don't know. Looks like it might get nicer out. Hey, back at it this week. I got my OSB delivered for the roof. That's a 1/2-inch stuff, not like the walls were 7/16. And then before I put this up, I thought, I better ask the engineer if I need blocking between my rafters up here, that stuff, because it wasn't in my plans, but I thought if I put the OSB up there and then I find out I need to put blocking up, it'd be a pain. But so I got a hold of the engineer. He said, yeah, you need to put blocking. You should have blocking there. So so that was kind of unexpected. So I had to go back to Home Depot, get a bunch of wood. So now I got to go along each one of these, measure them out, put a piece blocking in. It's just toe-nailed in. But again, I have problems with toe-nailing, so I really kind of pre-drill these so they're not splitting. And after I put this blocking in, I'm going to finish up the sides here with OSB. I just need to finish up this stuff. And then once I get the OSB on there, then I can get these top outside rafters in. So hopefully I'll get a lot done this week. It's supposed to be nice out. Whew. Hopefully it'll be nice out, but then it said it's supposed to snow next Saturday, so I need to get this done. It's September 23rd right now, so I need to, be finished pretty soon here. Oh, and if you're wondering, like, man, you got a lot of ladders, Mark. I do. I got an 8-foot, 6-foot, a 10-foot, 12-foot, and I just got a 24-foot extendable to get up on there. I like these kind of ladders though, because they got a really wide base, so each one has its own little purpose, but ladders like $200, so for $200 I'd rather have the right height and not fall off my ladder, especially up here. I'm worried about falling all the time, so nobody's going to come help me for a while. I'll probably be out here freezing for days. Hey, so I'm super jazzed. I got all my OSB siding up. I got the last rafters on the end here put up. You can see I used a couple of little sticks, kind of. I just screwed in the end there to hold up the rafter when I put it in there. Now, if you had two people, it'd be way easier, but this is what I figured out how to do it myself and get one up there. I still got this huge pile of 1/2 inch OSB that I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get way up there. I haven't figured out that yet, but anyways, I'm working kind of slow. My back went out yesterday. Usually that puts me out for a week, but I've just been plugging away, working like I'm, 85-year-old man rather than like a 65-year-old man or something. So I've been moving really slow, but anyways, to get this done, that's awesome. Now I'm going to think of this fascia, what I'm going to put on for fascia, and how I'm going to get this OSB on the roof. Oh, and just to show you something on putting this OSB siding up, I was noticing, I thought I was doing really good on all my gaps and stuff, but this one, I think it was like 1/8 of an inch, before it got torrential rains on it, but now it's all swelled, so there's really almost no gap there, and this looks kind of like it bulges out, like it kind of buckled there. This looks like it bulges too. So anyways, you definitely want to keep your gaps right on this OSB, especially if it's going to rain. So I'm working on my fascia now. I finally got to my fascia, and the only thing I could really find, I got pretty big rafters, so the only thing I find was this 3/4 inch pine stuff, and here's what I ended up getting for fascia. It'd be nice if you get like 1 inch stuff, but I couldn't find 1 inch, but it's so wide. And then I went ahead and cut a 22.5 degree angle on that for my roof, so I'll sit flush and everything. And here's how I've been getting it up by myself. And once again, if you had two people, it would make things a lot easier, but I put these clamps in there. I made a little L-shaped contraption there and clamped it on. So I made a couple of those, and then I throw the piece up there, and then I put these clamps on the top there to hold it in place, so it doesn't fall, and then I can move it around to get all these gaps, just spaced right. Sometimes if I would have nailed the first one in, I would have been off a little bit for these other ones. So it's kind of nice to put a few in a row. And right now I've just got two screws holding each piece in. So yeah, so that's how I'm getting them up by myself. I got these little L-shaped things. Now if you had two people, you could probably put on a 16-foot piece with two people, but by yourself, I'm kind of stuck with these little 8-foot pieces. But they're harder to line up too. If you got a bunch of little 8-foot pieces, there's little crooked areas. Yeah, I thought I'd mention on this fascia, I was just nailing these things in, but on these on the ends and where they join right here, I'm pre-drilling everything. I don't want these things to split. It'd be a pain to try to get these out now, and they're 25 bucks a piece. So anyways, I'm pre-drilling these, kind of going as far away from the edge as I can, kind of going in at an angle on both sides, but it seems to be working so far. All right, I'm up here again. It's like September 28th, so I am kind of running out of time, but I didn't expect it's going to be like snowing already. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm sitting on my coffee here. The floor is, I was going to try to get this OSB by putting a pulley up here and then kind of pulling it up a ladder, but it's like it's an ice skating rink in there right now, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. And tomorrow I think there's supposed to be an inch of snow, so I might just be waiting till things thaw out, I guess. It'd be kind of dangerous, you know, trying to set up a ladder and everything solid ice. So maybe I'll go ATV riding or something. I don't know. So this is the first idea I had of getting all this OSB up onto the roof, but it doesn't seem to be working out. What I was going to do is I got my sheet hooked up there to ropes. I got the ladder as kind of a slide, and then I was going to, I got a big pulley in there, big pulley at the top, but I just can't get this thing up. The pulley's got to be, I think, way higher because the rope's kind of going into the pulley. It's not really working out too well, so I gotta rethink this. Okay, since my whole pulley ladder idea didn't work, I thought the ropes would work, but dang. But anyways, I got this drywall lift here, and so I got two pieces up already using it. I didn't want to use it originally because, I mean, that's pretty high to lift a heavy piece, you know, and it's sketchy like I thought it would be, but it's all I can think of to get pieces up there. So, you know, as long as it works and nobody gets hurt, then it's all good, I guess. We'll hope for the best. I added some more ropes as little kind of stabilizers on the stand there, just because it's kind of a little windy out and kind of unstable, but you know, we'll see how it goes for the rest of the way. This two sheets went all right. Then I just kind of inch them down. I got these again, little vice grips holding pieces of wood up to the edge there, so the OSB won't slide off. And so I've just been kind of inching them down and getting them in place. So here we go. Yeah, this is what it looks like up top here. You can see I put these on the outside. It's catching on something. I'll have to see what it is, but so this will sit flush even. That's why I cut these at a kind of a beveled edge. But anyways, it looks like it'll work, I think. Now I can just get these lined up on the seams. I just want to make sure, you know, that they're gonna fit right, or you know, sometimes these rafters are gonna be a little bit off, so it might help to move them one way or another. Ooh, looking stormy. Supposed to snow this afternoon and tomorrow. So this video isn't about building a cabin, it's about a man's struggle with Mother Nature. Look at this thing, man. All the snow out here. It's crazy. This old guy stopped by yesterday. He's like, these young kids thinks it's that global warming, but it's not. The Farmer's Almanac said it was going to snow early this year. So, we'll, you know, whatever. Hey, super jazzed. I got my roof all finished up here. I got all the OSB on. Yeah, it went pretty good, I guess. Only thing is, even though this is a 5/12 pitch, which is like about the lowest pitch there is, I mean, this stuff is still pretty slick when you're like on it with shoes and stuff. So, I mean, it always feels kind of sketchy getting this stuff up here on the lift and walking around up here. So, I'm kind of a wuss, so I'm pretty scared of heights and really don't like roofs too much. So, I'm never going to be a roofer. But I'm glad to have this all done. Inspections tomorrow. I scheduled it early because I knew if I didn't, I would have to wait again 6 days. So I scheduled it hoping I would get everything done today, which I did, so celebration. Hey, back from a weekend, and I'm ready for a week of work. I'm going to hopefully get my roof all shingled this week. Right now I'm waiting for it to get warm. It's only like 28 degrees out, but it's supposed to be like 71 today. So I'm going to get some painting done. These outside rafters, I'm going to get primer on those, and all these nails I put on the outside here of the fascia, I'm going to get primer on those too. I really should have used galvanized or stainless steel nails, but you know, too late now. So, and I'm going to paint all these outside rafters, so when I put on the drip edge on the edge there, it's already going to be primered underneath. It'll make painting way easier later on. But anyways, this is I think the last 70-degree day I'm going to get, so I'm going to get painting done. Hey, and last Thursday the inspector came by, got inspected, but he didn't really look at any of the framing. He said he does that, you know, I think from the inside after the rough electrical and plumbing's in. All he did was look at the shear wall, the outside walls. He said, you know, everything looked good, my gaps were good. And he said they don't even look at the roof. They don't inspect the roof. So I spent all that time. It looked perfect up there, and he didn't even look at it. So he said now I could go ahead and shingle. You know, I could have started, I guess, already, but I wasn't ready. Hey, just working on the roof now. I got just one sheet of tar paper up here, one long strip, and I already put on my my bottom drip edge. And so this tar paper is going to go over top of the bottom drip edge. So if water gets in there, it's going to flow right over the edge. And on the edges here, you want this drip edge to go over top of your tar paper, because then if water gets in here, it'll go whoosh on top of this stuff. So, but this roof up here, I'm kind of scared just walking around on this tar paper and falling. It's kind of a long way down. So I just want to get one sheet up here and then start putting shingles on here. So then I can get a bunch of shingles on here, have something better to walk on. And then put the other strips of tar paper up here. But since they're supposed to go underneath this, I didn't nail this yet. So I'm going to put some shingles on here, and then I'm going to be able to walk on it better. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to put my tar paper on, and I'm going to put it underneath there. Just tuck it underneath, and then nail this up. So that's my plan. It'd be a lot easier if I could just put all the tar paper up at once and then just nail this on and start shingling away. But that's my plan, being up here alone. And while I'm up here, you can see I got this like a couple coats of primer on these, and you can see how, you know, with this dark edge right here, when you paint it, it's going to be hard to, you know, get a line up in there to cover that raw wood. So it's just easier to primer this thing. This thing's like ready to paint. Probably just do a light coat, you know, right up to it with finished paint. So it makes things easier if you paint it. Finally, I am done with this roof. I've just finished up today. It ended up taking like 6.5 days, which seems pretty long, but my days are so short now. It's been like 15 degrees in the morning, so I can't even start until about 10, 11, before, you know, everything's ice and everything, so I can't really get up on a roof. So it shouldn't really take that long. I would say probably more like 4 or 5 days. I could have got it done if it was nice out, but ended up turned out pretty nice. I mean, I can't complain. It's got, you know, some ripples in it, but I mean, it seemed like, you know, if the tar paper got wet, it would get ripples, and the ripples would just come into the shingles. So, but heck, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. It looks good. I think it'll, you know, hold out water. So, yeah, I'm not worried about it. This is the main thing I want to get done for winter time. So I'm pretty jazzed. I'm going to go back home and relax. I've been up here for 7 days now, and anyways, ready to get home. It's supposed to be like 4 inches of snow next weekend, so good thing I got the roof on. Hey, I took a week off. I'm back up here. I think I'm just gonna winterize this place, get it ready. Next week's supposed to be in the 40s for a high and 20s for a low. So all my water freezes, my pumps freeze, my toilets freeze, buckets of water, everything. So it's no fun when it gets that cold. But it's not so much working in the cold, it's the no water. But anyways, I got Tyvek. I'm gonna put this wrap it with Tyvek. It says it's only good for 4 to 6 months in the sun and weather. So I'm gonna have this Tyvek in the sun and weather for just kind of protecting it for probably like 7-8 months. So I'm not gonna worry about doing it perfect. I'm just gonna put it on there to protect it for now, and then next year when I get ready to really put the windows on and siding, I'll rip it off and put new stuff on. It's like gonna cost me $170, but hey, for protecting the sides through the winter, that's fine. But if I didn't have to put that R5 insulation on this outside, which is that 1-inch thick styrofoam stuff, then I'd probably go ahead and just get the windows done and everything done. But because I got to put that on, I mean, if you think about it, you put the window in and then you're going to have 1-inch insulation up to that, then it's not going to, I mean, they're going to be flush, and then you got to put siding on it, so your window's going to be kind of in. So you can either kind of make these kind of pieces to hide the foam, or you can kind of block this out, put your window so it sticks out a ways. And all that's kind of, I don't know what I'm doing. So if I really knew what I was doing, I could, start on that. I might have 2 weeks left of work here. I don't know. But I don't know how to do that. Even the inspector said, "Why in the world are you doing that?" I said, "Because you guys are making me do it." And so he goes, "Oh, that complicates things." And I was like, "I know." So if I didn't have to do that, I would, start on the rest of it. But since I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to, really kind of think about it for a while, and I don't have time to do that. So I might be up here and do some plumbing and stuff, but I'm not going to take on any big projects right now. And besides, if it snows here a lot, I got to go over a pass to get back to the valley where I live, so I'd rather avoid that too. Hey, and before I board this thing up, I'm going to board up the windows if I can before I put the Tyvek on. But I was going to show you the inside. This is kind of how it turned out. This is, you walk in the front, and here's the bathroom right here. It's a pretty small bathroom, but there can be a toilet there, and then a little corner shower, and a vanity thing sink right there. This is the bedroom. It's got this massive window. You got to meet egress requirement. So this is, I should have went a little smaller, but this is 8 foot 6 inches by 8 foot 6 inches, and that's the minimum size. I think about required by law. I think you get 71 square feet is the minimum size for a bedroom. Then I got the closet there, and water heater's going to go in there. Then this is a big room. This is like 20 feet by 12 feet, so it's kind of a big room. Put a couch there. The kitchen's going to be over here on the end. Gonna be that's for the fridge is going to go right there with some water. There's going to be a sink there. Stove's going to be here. I already got a vent for it up there, and same with the bathroom stuff. The shower and sink are gonna vent right up through here, and I've got a hole already set for it, 2-inch. It's just got a piece of tape on it now to keep out the rain, and toilet's gonna come over here and vent up right through there. So at least the venting will, I think, be pretty easy to do. But that's the inside of the place. I'm getting ready to put the Tyvek up, so I'm gonna board up these windows. So I just put these little, just screwed in these little pieces of wood right here, and then I figured, hey, I already got the the window cutout, so I'm just gonna put the cutout back in there and screw it in, and then so whenever I want to take out the window, I just unscrew these from the inside and pop. So here we go, got it all boarded up. It's ready for some wrapping. Looks pretty tight now. I left a little tiny hole there. I'm going to wrap around it, and then I'm going to put a board on the outside, screw it in, so I can still get it off and get in there. Because who knows, I might do some plumbing and stuff later. But yeah, it all looks pretty good. Kind of like using those pieces I already had for windows already cut out anyways. So I got the Tyvek all on, and looks really nice. I'm kind of hoping it lasts through the winter and it still looks good. I don't know, maybe it will, but it was actually easy to put up, and it looks pretty nice. I'll just show you the other side here, but you know, so it went up pretty nice, and it looks tight. I don't think it's gonna come off. It says not to staple it, but man, I was, you know, putting in some staples wrong, and I was trying to pull it off, and that stuff sticks on there really good with staples, so I don't think this is going to fall off in the winter. I guess you'll find out next year, but anyways, I'm gonna call it good for this video. So far, this cost about $9,000 so far, and really, if you didn't have to put the styrofoam stuff on, I mean, you just put windows on now, and then siding and the outside would be pretty much done. So, yeah, $9,000's pretty cheap for a house. But then I got to put in the rest of the stuff. I also got to get power out here in the meantime. So hopefully I'm gonna be able to, you know, trench this way back here to the road, which is about 150 feet. So I'm gonna have to trench that out, and then also got my my well house over here. So I need you know, a line going from my well house to my house here, and then I need, you know, of course I need power first, so I know where the power is going, because I need power and water going out to the well house. So I got a lot to work on. I still got to figure out all the plumbing, how I'm gonna, you know, do the plumbing. I'm no expert in plumbing. I'm no expert in plumbing, so I got to figure all that out, exactly how to slant the pipes down and get it all hooked to the septic, which I've already got in. But actually, I got a lot done yesterday. Cleared more trees out from the front. I got to figure out a deck. That's another thing I got to figure out, where exactly I'm going to put my deck and everything. Hey, my pumps did actually freeze up here, so it is getting time to get out of here. But I came to pump some water yesterday, and it wouldn't suck water, so I was kind of looking at the pipe. And I got this check valve in here, and it's totally blown out. All the metal's blown out there, so the freezing already took its toll. I probably should put this down deep and then put this drain on top of that, you know, drain out the water, but a little late now, so I mean, I gotta, you know, cut this out and, you know, fix all this before this pump's gonna work again. So anyways, that's going to be it for this video, but I'll make another one, you know, how I get the rest of the stuff in, and the siding, how it all turns out, and total cost on this. I'll let you know.